all time. And what I appreciate about Nardwar is his radio background. In fact, actually, he basically was a host of I think.
You want it? You got it. Reality radio done right. No nonsense, real and raw, just like you like it.
He's corrupt, he's inexperienced, and he lies.
Broadcasting from a broom closet in the Arizona Lotus Studios, it's Beef Vegan Presents.
Yo, welcome back to the show. It's Beef Vegan Presents live on Rock 102.1 KFMA, streaming worldwide at KFMA.com on this beautiful Friday, May 9th. Good morning, Valdez.
It's Friday.
I don't know if that's going to catch on. How about you hit him with the original catchphrase?
I'm Valdez.
There you go. And good morning, Tucson. Thank you guys for tuning into the show. We're going to wrap up the week strong for you, leading into Mother's Day weekend. Got a couple giveaways as per usual. A lot of fun content to get to, some fun and games, and you know how we do. So before we get into all that, there's a couple things you got to talk about. First and foremost, look up in the skies. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's an out-of-control Soviet satellite from the 1950s crashing somewhere in Arizona.
Sputnik.
Yeah, no. Do you hear about this?
No, I missed that.
Okay, so this is legit. Where the experts at U of A say that a 1970s satellite from Russia could be crashing in our vicinity, in Arizona somewhere, right? The Soviet spacecraft was called Cosmos and first launched in the 1970s, and it is on a crash course with Earth. And according to our experts here at U of A, it could happen quite soon, as 3 p.m. to today, Arizona time, or and it goes all the way to 9 a.m. Saturday. So anywhere between 3 p.m. today and 9 a.m. Saturday. And there'll be, U of A's tracking the various objects in space from debris to satellite. They track about 50,000 objects every single night. He does say
that's troll status unlocked.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they're very busy up there. Now, with that said, though, they are warning that it is on a crash course to somewhere here in Arizona, and their hope is that most of it burns up, but not all of it will. Right. So keep an eye on the sky. Now, to make you feel a little better, this is the quote. The hope is that most of it will burn down in the Earth's atmosphere, and that even if something makes it down, it will fall in the ocean and we can forget about it. You'll have to be very incredibly unlucky to get hit by this thing, but it's coming right for us. So
is this like a finder's keeper scenario? What if I find a piece of it? Can I sell it on eBay?
You're very optimistic. Yeah, I say yes, find it, sell it on eBay. And yes, you'll make some money for sure because it was in space for damn near 50 years, a little over 50 years. So whatever is left over, then yes. But, if you look up in the sky today and you're like, oh, look at that, it's a shooting star. No, that's a falling satellite coming right for us. And hopefully, it will probably land somewhere, desolate, a desert around nothing. Or you are the unluckiest person in Tucson and get struck down by a Russian satellite. So we got that to look forward to. Yesterday, there's obviously a lot of big news. We had a new pope from Chicago, south side of Chicago. Yeah, right off the bat, people are celebrating first American pope, first south side Chicago pope. Had a bunch of people posting on that. Not without controversy. Now there's already, allegations and people coming out of the woodwork talking about this pope, but positive and negative, which is going to happen when you have such a polarizing figure. Also, in that same time, we were subjected to a new Kanye West song. Did you see this?
I did not.
Okay. And rightfully so and good. It's a song that you could only find as far as videos reacting. It was like a live stream leak. The song itself is probably the most shocking piece of music I've ever heard in my life. And that says a lot, right? Because in 2025, it's almost impossible to be shocking. So what can Kanye do now? Well, Kanye could do a whole song where the hook is, it's a Hitler song.
Oh man, Gary sent me a video about that. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So if you watch this, and here's the crappy thing about this, as horrific and as disgusting as the context of the song is, you're like, it's kind of catchy too, right? It's like it's uncomfortably catchy. It really is. It is uncomfortably catchy, dude. And you're just like, oh, don't get this hook stuck in my head. And if there's any saving grace in this whole thing, where I'm like, where the N words are like the N words, the words are like N word, HH, right? All my N words, Nazis, N word, HH. Like that's kind of like the hook, so to speak, right? So all my N words, Nazis, and then N word, HH, because I feel uncomfortable even reporting on it. But I'm like, okay, well, then at the very least, as horrific as this is, and yes, and it is a little bop, a little catchy, and it does suck that it's not the worst thing I ever heard, but it's the worst lyrics I ever heard, and worst context and worst message for sure. It is like punk rock in a way that it's designed to shock, and when you have I don't recall a song where I'm just like, oh my god, I shouldn't be hearing this. All right, that's enough of that. That was our show open this morning, but we have a bunch to cover, and it was since we got Herb Stratford in the studio for the whole podcast broadcast. Yeah, it's a big deal, and in fact, actually, we want to double up on some stuff, and let's see, comedian Greg Warren. Sorry, getting text messages and stuff. We want to double up on some stuff because we're still doing KWSS.
Yeah.
That's still going strong.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've been having a lot of fun on that. In fact, actually, I think you haven't done F My Life with us in a long time, right? Have you ever done F My Life with us?
Oh, yeah, but it's been a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
Been a while.
That's how long Herb's been a part of this show, which I find fantastic here. Let's see. All right. So we got a little bit of time here. And so I'm going to set up F My Life's that I'm going to do with Herb and record this for KWSS for anybody who's wondering what we're doing here. All right. 939 KWSS around 3:30. Why don't we do a round of F My Life, shall we?
Let's.
Yay.
We don't need the A. I'll edit that out.
He's like, F your enthusiasm.
Well, we don't need to verbalize it all the time,
Let
Valdez.
me be happy, bro. It's
Well,
fine.
you could be
come
happy,
on, man.
The yay is just not necessarily, You sound like Ed. Was the puppet Ed from Crank Yankers when you do that?
R.I.P. Crank Yankers.
Yeah, that was. It was a good show. All right, let's see.
It's actually where Peter Griffin got his start.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Well, tell me that fun fact.
Seth MacFarlane did a skit for them, and he played a guy trying to hire a candygram, but he's like, it was hilarious. You could YouTube it.
It was a Boston accent, though.
Yeah,
so
he did full on Peter Griffin. This was even way before Family Guy was a thing.
Huh. Oh, nice. All right. All right. Here we go. So going into the intro here.
Beef Vegan presents F.
Sorry, I blew the speaker out there, so I gotta do it one more time here and a little bit lower. Is that Crystal? Crystal, you can come in here, Crystal.
Beef Vegan presents F My Life. F My Life. F My Life.
Yes, it's time for another edition of Your F My Life. These are unfortunate situations. Email to me, beefvegan@gmail.com, or DM'd at beefvegan on social media, whether it's Instagram or Facebook. I got film critic Herb Stratford joining us, and Valdez.
I'm Valdez.
All right, let's get into our first FML email here. And it's Friday, so save some of the good ones here for the end of the week. First email sent to me by Steven. This is kind of heartbreaking. Steven said, Beef, my stepdaughter called me dad for the first time. It was quite an emotional moment until I realized that she was just recording my reaction for a stupid TikTok.
Dastardly.
Yes, and didn't mean to. Get in here, Crystal. She pulled some pranks before, but this time I'm done with her. She could F right off right now. Crystal, we're doing F My Life's here. And so I do kind of want to repeat this to you because you have a heart of gold. But yeah, so Steven's stepdaughter called him dad for the first time, and he got real emotional about it. But then he realized she was recording his reaction for TikTok.
Ooh.
Is that enough? My life, Herb?
Yeah, that is. That's hard. That just cuts to the bone. That's just mean.
Yeah. All right. All right. So Valdez.
Big baby, that's not your kid. Screw it, man.
Oh,
It's a stepchild.
This
She
is
gets get to stepping.
This is a guy who hasn't got a happy stepfather's day card in many years, but plenty of baby mamas.
My ex stepdaughter still sends me a Happy Father's Day text,
Okay.
and I'm like, bro, you still like.
That's
You-
really sweet.
You act like you have a heart of stone, but you have literally a heart on your chest, kind of.
Look,
All right.
he does.
Crystal, is this enough my life for Steven?
Listen, you got featured on TikTok. I would say that's kind of a badge of honor. She could literally hide you in shame, and instead she's choosing to show you. So
No.
that's the generation today.
Yeah, but like kind of exploiting him crying and be like, look at this sappy ass. He thinks I love him.
baby.
Yeah. I don't know. I would think F my life. But all right. Next F my life, sent to me by Sarah. Sarah said, my one time when my father was taking pictures of my friend and I as we were getting ready for homecoming. After the pictures were taken, he offered to show us, and he scrolled one picture too far and ended up showing us a picture of his peen.
Oh, no.
oh,
That's right before homecoming. Is that an F my life? Crystal?
My eyes wouldn't work after that.
Right.
So yes.
Before homecoming too. You know what?
Absolutely.
What a great though in an inadvertent C block, right? Because homecoming or prom usually is the night where they kind of go all the way.
Yeah.
How are you going to do that after that image is ingrained in your brain?
Am I the weirdo that thinks he did it on purpose too?
well,
Like,
I mean,
come on,
now
man.
after that, well, okay, well, hopefully not. Yeah, that's super gross.
Come on.
I took a bunch of pictures of my daughter and her friends doing the prom
I'm
thing
going
and
to
stuff.
say you're peeing.
No. I made sure all my peen pics were in a hidden folder beforehand because I know how girls are. They want to see every single picture and they want a million of them. Yeah. So I went through all my pictures, any pictures that were sent to me and saved. Can't see
oh,
it.
man.
Yeah. All right. Final F my life of the day. All right. This is sent to me by, Josh. Josh said, today, like every day, I woke up at 3:00 in the morning because my roommate needs a 3-hour warning before his real alarm goes off. His alarm is a constant beeping noise, which he always ignores for a good 10 minutes before finally getting up and turning it off. If you had to live in this scenario, this would probably drive you crazy. Is that enough my life, Valdez?
Oh, that's a big old effort. I lived that scenario.
You live that, but
She
3
could
hours
not
early?
She could not hear her alarm, and I'm like, I can.
Right. You're like, I'm awake and you're not? Yeah, that'd be maddening. Crystal?
You are a caretaker, my dude. You should be getting a paycheck. So yes, that is absolutely F my life.
Absolutely. And then Herb?
I agree. I agree. It's a grand slam.
Excellent. Yes. All the way around. Keep those emails coming, beefvegan@gmail.com. Or again, you could always DM me at beefvegan on social media. We'll keep the music going here on KWSS 93.9. It's Beef Vegan Presents. Yes, that was for Phoenix. Oh, yeah. You know, I mean, Crystal, since you're a radio DJ, how many stations are they making you be on right now?
Oh, for me, I'm only on the one. I stepped back from the Westwood one. If it was the Westwood one, it was 110.
110, yeah. But you don't have to record 110
No, but
individual
out of
shows.
all of those, I had about 20 custom where I had to go in and do their moniker and all that stuff.
Maddening. How long is those days? Was that
Oh.
insane?
For that particular show, it would take me a good 3-4 hours just to finish all of the reads for one day, and then I could jump into the next one. The weekends were the best because I didn't have any of that. Weekends I could just breeze through, but the weeks, no.
Yeah, still rough though. So I started doing this. So this extended my day in the morning and stuff. And I'm here in the station till like 12 or 1 during the week now. But I'm like,
How much
whatever.
do you recycle?
Not much, actually. You know, I'll try to, like the speed breaks and stuff, because a lot of the show up there, it's afternoon drive, right? So I want most of the segments not to be long. This is the longest segment that I do, with the exception of our Gold Star segment that I do with Derek up there, which is East Side, West Side, which I love. It's a killer segment. The rest is like speed breaks. I want to stick and move.
Programming your logs?
I am actually. I'll show you it
Yeah.
here when after we get off this next segment. Well,
Love
we're
that.
going to be on the air here in just a minute. You got a little bit of time to hang out?
Okay,
Good.
Do you want your door open?
Yeah. You know why? And I'll explain.
Okay.
Because this broom closet doesn't do air conditioning. So when we shut it, it gets super hot. And so I'm like, F it. Everyone needs to hear what we're doing anyways. Rock on 2.1 KFMA. Welcome back. Beef Vegan Presents. We're live on the podcast broadcast with film critic Herb Stratford. We got Crystal Pino joining us in studio as well.
You gave it an enye. You gave it an extra pino.
I know. I try to sound it. Well, I've been hanging out with Valdez so much, and I realize in real time that a lot of these words that I say, I'm not saying correctly and stuff. So
give it some flavor.
Yeah. Got to give it some flavor. And I feel like I've been getting a little better on Valdez.
Yeah, much better.
See?
You're lying.
How can you tell?
Damn, Crystal, you don't even talk to me. The first thing you come over, you're like, you're a liar.
I'm sorry about
It's
that.
like being a cop all over again. I'm like, Jesus, bro, I just met you.
Yeah. So, you met Crystal before?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, okay. All right.
Yeah, but she didn't call me a liar.
I know I didn't
last
call you a
night.
liar. Jeez. I'm so sorry. Can we start over?
What's next,
Rewind.
Crystal? You call me a Nazi now? Like, what's up, bro?
Day's just getting started.
Yeah. All right. So we said that word too many times today on the show for sure. All right. We got film critic Herb Stratford in studio. Let's talk about a big release real quick for people to be excited about that coming to movie theaters. This one I'm super excited about. It's, because it's a dark comedy. And Tim Robbins is a weirdo. Right?
He is a weirdo.
In the best possible way, though.
Yeah. No, awkward weird. And then of course you throw in Paul Rudd and Kate Mara, and I mean that's a great thing. So this is definitely something the dudes will appreciate, because this is about that awkward sort of when dudes, like a guy wants to be friends, but the other person maybe not so much.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where you're kind of like, oh, I want to bro out with that guy. And
that sounds like Valdez whenever I'm
away.
trying to hit him up, be like, you want to hang out and stuff. But so. Because initially they compared this movie to I Love You Man, which starred Paul Rudd as well, as just like a bromance type of movie, and it would be weird that Paul Rudd would kind of redo that again.
Yeah.
But with Tim Robbins, it's going to be extra weird.
Well, and also it's from A24, right? Which is also your clue that this is not just some random sort of film. It's like there's going to be a dark edge to it, and dudes are going to get it. Right?
Well,
dudes
how?
Understand. Just because we
dudes are going to understand.
Dudes are going to understand, your circle of friends, and you're going to understand what this is like. Like, women don't have friends the same way guys do, right? It's just different.
Okay.
That is very true.
Women to women, you know what I mean? I'm just saying it's just you guys, you share things differently. You know what I mean?
Okay, what's the difference? See, you both seem somewhat experts. So can you give me a quick round of women be like and men be like?
So in my opinion, if a woman is going through...
You guys said women be like.
If women be like,
okay,
I'm going through something at home, and then we tell everything, right?
Yeah.
Men be like, I'm going through something at home, but I'm fine, bro. Men don't really open up about it, even though they should. They don't.
Okay. What about you, Herb Stratford? Do you have an example of women be like, men be like?
I think men be like, the same thing is funny every time I hear it. Monty Python, The Office. That's what she said.
Men be like that. Yeah.
And women be like, oh, I'm so over that. Stop saying that. It's not funny.
Yes.
Right.
I love that this turned into a segment.
Men be like, hey, those socks look good in your sandals. Women be like, no, those look terrible. Change those. You're not leaving the house like that.
That is true. That is true.
Men be like, oh my God, that woman is naked. I've never seen a naked woman before in my life. Women are like, put that thing away.
There you go. So now you guys know the difference between men and women.
Yeah.
All right. And so is this a guy's movie then, or would women like this as well?
I mean, I think they're gonna like it if they want to, laugh and make fun of men. But I mean, it's definitely check yourself, man.
It sounds like a non-comedic version of The Cable Guy.
The Cable Guy was sort of dark, right? I mean, this is just like, I think you're gonna enjoy this one. Check it out.
I mean, look at the reviews. They're calling it the funniest movie of the year.
92% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I was just about to ask you what Rotten Tomatoes.
92.
92. I mean, Tim Robbins is one of these comedians who either goes over your head or is so brilliant you can get it, and he is that hilarious.
Oh yeah, and it's nice to see him get a little bit of bigger profile, right? You know what I mean? Like with sharing the role with Paul. So yeah, this premiered at South by Southwest, and it was very buzzy. Of course, that's exactly where it would premiere, but. I think it's going to do well this weekend.
Excellent. All right. Film critic Herb Stratford is hanging out with us here on the podcast broadcast. We'll have more great releases that are coming out this weekend. So stick around, but we're keeping the conversation moving on the podcast broadcast. You can join us, youtube.com/beefvegan. That's what women be like. Yeah, that's I love that turned into a segment. I'm like, you guys are doing good. Ah,
We got this.
yeah.
That is a good segment, though.
It is.
Yeah, well, I was like, oh, I see it. I see golden opportunity. I was looking over at Valdez. I'm like, what some women be like, men be like. Did you have any that you want to add to that? Or?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to hear yours.
Oh, yeah.
I want to hear yours.
All right, hold
What
on.
is it?
Valdez, I didn't mean to leave you out in that last one. So give me some women be like, men be like.
So men be like, you get home and it's like, how was your day? You're like, yeah, it was crap. And then that's it. Women be like, how was your day? Oh my God, Sarah ate my lunch. And then stupid Tiffany wasn't like, you get like a whole DVD commentary on their day at work.
Mm-hmm.
Just like clothes. Like if Herb's like, what's up with this jacket? I'm like, it's cool if you want to go for like U of A professor. He's like, that's the look I'm looking for. Thanks, bro. Women won't say anything to another woman. How's this? It's cute, even though she looks awful. Because in her mind, she's like, if she looks like garbage, that makes me look better.
Wow. Yeah.
Ouch! Oh.
Women be like hurting him, and then he be like projecting. That's good. Tell me how you really feel without
Tell me if I'm off.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I think we
Yeah,
have
well,
some issues over here.
Yeah.
I know.
know.
No, I love it.
Raise your hand if you're divorced.
Yeah. I labeled that Valdez be like. We'll be playing that in Phoenix as well. So, all right, so much stuff going on. Are you going to the Roadrunners and the year party tonight?
I
Yeah.
think so. It's at 3, right?
I thought it was later than that. No, it can't be
I
3.
think it's 3.
Oh, that's early.
Shit.
As long as I have all of the stuff for tomorrow's game done, yeah. We have a lot
I
of
have
it.
to double check to see what time that is because
I swear it was 3.
I hope it's not 3.
Like 3 to 6, I think.
Well, then I'll be at the tail end. Hopefully there'll be some food. Because I have I literally have a meeting today with the president of the company with with everyone
Wait, excuse me. The Roadrunners are here.
here.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, but not personally. This is like a big one amongst like a bunch of people, right?
Mhm.
But talking about social media and at first when we all accepted this, like everyone in this cluster or the managers in position, we're like, okay, we're gonna have some kind of like social media training, and I'm like, yeah, okay, well, whatever, right? Because a lot of times I do those for them, and I'm like, cool, I should be telling this guy what to do, right?
Yeah.
In this scenario, that's not what it is. It's literally, what are you guys doing on social media amongst the entire company? And I'm like, oh, you ready for this, bitch? All right, let's go. Right. So this is going to be funny because I stock every single station that this company owns. Right. And so by far and away, and I've been slacking, but still by far and away, leaps and bounds. So with that said, Mac was like, hey, can you join this like Zoom from home and stuff? I'm like, home? I'm driving back here. I'm setting up my ring lights. I'm like, oh, excuse me. I didn't see you there.
Enter this other box. Here, there's a spot for you.
Yeah, let me share screens. Oh, I'm sorry. These are just pre-produced videos. Don't mind those.
Oops.
Yeah. So it's
Wow.
it should be interesting to see what happens from that.
Nice.
Yeah. So, but that's at 3:30.
Sounds like it's like a low key, hopefully motivator for people.
Hopefully, yeah.
Because
I'll put a fire underneath
Imagine
everyone's ass.
coming up after you, being like, "This is the Facebook Live I did for 5 minutes."
Well, here's another thing that's kind of funny though, too, is that they don't want me to hijack the conversation, right? So, and it's fine. So what's going to happen is going to be my GM and my boss kind of representing. I'm going to be there, but they don't know, which I know is going to happen, is that they're going to be like, oh yeah, so as their representatives of us, you're going to be like, yeah, so Beef's doing this, and Beef's doing that. Beef did this. Beef, what's the number there? Beef doing that. Boom, boom. And then eventually, I know the president's going to be like, so what's up, Beef? Right? It's kind of, I'm like, you guys can try to gatekeep all you want. The conversation's going to come back to me. And somehow, some way, I'm going to end up leading this conversation for a good 10, 15 minutes. And I'm ready for it. So, yeah. So that's going to hold me up a little bit. But then I'll come for the free food.
What time's that at?
3:30.
Oh, damn.
I know. I didn't realize our...
Kind of been considered to your mornings on a Friday?
Honestly, yeah.
Your morning show on a Friday at 3? Come on.
Yeah, I know. But you know what? Honestly, now it's like, because I've been empty nesting and I've been doubling up with these shows and stuff like that. And like during the week, I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll leave here at like noon. I'll go home. I'll power nap. I'll eat some lunch, do some push-ups, and then come back and be ready. And then from here, go into that. Why you get,
Well, what happened? I felt like I was getting yelled at again. I'm like, what's happening?
You're not getting yelled at, but there's a look. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. So it's going to be interesting. It should be revealing to a certain extent because
as it should be. You guys have what's considered to be a powerhouse, right? Supposedly one of the most top heritage stations here.
Mix.
Yes.
Yeah. Mix
they
is
don't
powerhouse.
do anything relatively close to what you do digitally.
Rob and Joss are working on it. Joss is working on it. So it's going to get there. KLPX doesn't do it, but Mac's working on it. I've been showing Mac these things, and he's getting a kick out of all this stuff. With AI, you could do so much now, even with graphics and then video editing. So yeah,
this
they'll
is
get
why
there.
my heart breaks for radio, though. We're in 2025, and you're having to show people how to keep up.
I know, but the
Wild.
ones that want to do it will survive, right?
Amen.
Yeah,
The
and
evolution of it.
exactly. And the ones that don't, I'm like, great, get out the way.
Yeah.
So like I said, I'm just stoked about the opportunity just to show and tell. It's show and tell right now. And this is like when I was like in elementary school, I never had nothing to show and tell, It was that feeling of like, oh man, I'm like the
I
poor
brought
kid.
this rock.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I finally got something to show off. And so I'm like, pick me.
My
That's
neighbor
true.
said I could bring their dog. Oh.
It's like that dog was stolen. But
I found this gun in my dad's room. Whoa!
Yeah. So it's gonna be good. Have you been to a Sugar Skulls game yet?
I have not.
You gotta
I
do it.
know.
Gotta do it.
I got a lot on my plate, but yes, I know I need to go.
He's like the Roadhouse film critic now. Did you know
Oh,
that?
I love that.
Yeah.
They're supposed to open a new roadhouse in Green Valley in Saudita.
Really?
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that,
Yeah.
and I work for them.
So
Look at that.
there's a old theater out there that we
Uh-huh.
were told. Well, I guess it's not finished. What they're trying to do is get Roadhouse to transform it and turn it into that.
Wow.
Yeah, this theater
They
that
get
we
roadies
have
as well. Huh.
doesn't have working air conditioning all the time. So
that's
like
like-
they wonder why people don't come in the summer.
Yeah.
I want a hot box quite literally while watching this new Paul Rudd movie.
Yeah, no.
Like I'm good.
Which theater? The Roadhouse one?
No, there's this one in Saudita that's a family-owned one, been there for a long time. And people are always like, how come you guys going to Tucson? It's like, stop guilt tripping us for not utilizing this death trap. Like, turn it into something better and we will absolutely utilize it more.
That's it. Yeah. All you got to do is even basics. Have you seen Roadies yet? Have you been to Roadies?
Mm-mm.
This is amazing.
That's
So,
pretty cool.
It's connected to Roadhouse. It's Dave and Buster's connected to Roadhouse.
What?
It's the Bed Bath and Beyond that used to be on the backside
Yes.
of Roadhouse. They turned it into axe throwing, bowling, games, like
Laser tag.
Shallow
Since
wrestling,
when?
dwarf tossing.
I just opened last
No,
month.
stop falsely selling.
Not to just be squirrel.
Yeah.
I had Jello wrestling in high school. I was a Jello wrestling champ of my high school.
This was an
Not
actual
to-
thing?
Yeah.
They
It
did
was
that in
during,
Colorado?
It was during homecoming.
Really?
So you had to wear a one-piece swimsuit and then shorts and a shirt, and guys could wear shorts and a shirt. And we, a football dad created a ring for us, literally built it. We filled it with Jello,
Yeah.
and we legitimately had Jello wrestling for homecoming.
Wow.
That's
I
nuts.
won it 2 years in a row.
That's
One
pretty-
year, my brother won it for the guys. The same year, I won it for the girls. It was incredible.
That's
Yeah.
a funny. Well,
I will
her
never
daughters
forget it.
are like expert wrestlers right now. They've been kicking ass, but I don't condone it. It wasn't co-ed though.
No, girls
Okay.
on girls, boy, and it was very honestly. I know it sounds like crazy raunchy. It wasn't. It was.
Yeah,
fun.
it was fun.
It was so much
It's-
fun.
Something you could only do in the 90s though. They wouldn't allow it.
Oh,
today.
no.
Yeah.
Even the thought of it, I think, would have people clutching their fake pearls. Like,
Yeah.
oh my god, Jello wrestling!
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're the Jello wrestling
I was
champ.
Jello wrestling
Nice.
champ.
And then when you became like a college student and stuff, did you want to relive your glory? Did you ever go back to
No.
just try to like defend the crown?
Bring my belt back in.
Yeah.
Aren't you 24? Oh, my bad. Yeah. I know.
I'll wrestle all you Jello bitches. Yeah.
Wow.
I don't even think I've ever actually witnessed a Jello wrestling live before. Have you?
I've been a bouncer. I've seen it.
At strip clubs.
His was probably
Regular-
more
regular-
raunchy, right? Was probably meant to be
Yeah.
the kind of
I've
Jello
I've
wrestling.
even seen pudding wrestling.
Oh.
Yeah, that seems like wrestle around in poo. That seems disgusting.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah. No.
No argument.
It was
Yeah.
pudding, man. It was pudding. So.
All right. Yeah.
Valdez looks sort of scarred. I
He's
don't
like,
know.
yeah, it looked bad, but it tastes delicious. Is what you're saying.
I've had to do things for money that I'm not proud of. So
Fair enough. We won't try to pick those scabs. But the roadies is really
I'm
awesome.
gonna have to check it out.
And
Is
it's
it more
connected.
geared towards like adults or is it like family friendly?
They got a full bar,
It's both.
Okay.
It's a very cool addition, and there's nothing like it. You know what I mean? In town, it's like a
well, there
Super
is.
Bowl.
It's Dave and Buster's.
No,
and,
but you know what I mean. It's just like
yeah, that's exactly what it is. But they
yeah.
got really cool games too.
Yeah.
It's something that you wouldn't see at Dave and Buster's. But yeah, all the interactive games and stuff with the laser tag and yeah. But it is
Same
round
concept
one.
as far as like you buy a card for a
Yep.
limited time and go in. Nice. Okay.
Yep.
Rock 1 2.1 Cape, man. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Present. Hanging out here as we're talking with film critic Herb Stratford, who is the official film critic for Roadhouse, which he does like to mention as much as possible.
You brought it up today. I didn't bring it up.
Yeah, no. He was standing in line at Chipotle the other day, and I overheard him telling the three people in front of him about it. But yeah, we were talking about Roadies and how that place opened up. Yeah, and it is fantastic. They had a little media night, and I was surprised I didn't see you there. But it was fantastic as far as just the fun that you'd have as a full bar and it's a good date night. I'm just stoked because I live in Midtown and Grant and Alvernon, which is a super fancy area. And so right, that's what they say, right, Valdez?
it's classy.
Yeah, classy. So it's close to me, and that's good. And so I would suggest that you definitely check it out. With that said, though, let's talk about movie releases. As we know, Roadhouse connected to Roadies, and Roadhouse specializes in film. So what else is coming out this weekend in theaters?
All right, so I got to tell you, there's two things that are both really good, and I'm going to lead with Fight or Flight. Okay. Now, we haven't seen a lot of Josh Hartnett lately, although he was in Trap. That's the first time we saw him in a long time.
I was disappointed by that, right? There was a lot of buzz, and I'm just like, I like M. Night, right?
Yeah.
And there are movies like Old. I really enjoyed that movie Old. I think it's underrated. Yeah. And then Trap was like, hey, his daughter has my daughter's same name. This is going to be great. And what a bust, right?
Yeah, it was just sort of mediocre. You know, it was just not his best work. But so it's like, you're like, oh, Josh Hartnett, and you take a look at him, and he's got this bleach blonde hair, and you're like, wait a minute, what's going on?
Oh,
this is I got to tell you, this is like Die Hard on a plane. Okay,
Die Hard on a plane.
So basically, he plays a guy. He's a disgraced Secret Service guy, and he's living in like Thailand. And he gets a call, and he's like, "Hey, look, if you can get this asset back to us in one piece, all is forgiven. You can come back to America. Everything's good." He's like, "Okay, sure, I'll do that. Who is it?" They're like, "Well, we don't know." Okay. We just know the person's getting on this plane, and then it leaks that this person is on the plane, and now the plane is full of assassins who are trying to kill him, and once they figure out who this mystery person is, right? So it's very like Snakes on a Plane, but good. Okay.
That's interesting too, because so a bunch of assassins on a plane.
Yeah.
Right. He's on a plane trying to apprehend someone. A plane, it's very easy to go up and down a plane and see everyone who's on the plane. So you don't have much wiggle room.
Yeah.
And then no one knows who anyone is.
Well, you figure it out pretty quick, right?
Okay.
Just like all of a sudden, when people are improvising, weapons, you're like, okay, well, that's a bad guy.
Yeah.
But it's very, very entertaining. And I got to say, it's like he does a great job. This is sort of the surprise. This is the surprise breakout of the spring. I'm going to tell you right now. Everybody loves this movie. It's 78 on Rotten Tomatoes, which is just because not enough people have seen it. I loved it. I thought it was really a wild ride, much like the first time you saw Die Hard. You're like, oh, I'll go check it out. It's Bruce Willis, but it's an action movie. And then you come out of it, you're like, that was amazing. That was so great.
That's the best Christmas movie ever.
That's right. So look for more of these. I think Josh Hartnett has found his niche. He's not John Wick, but he does a very good job.
Okay, the one thing that's taken me away from this, though, where I'm like, are you sure it's good? Because it seems too punny, right? Fight or flight. You know what I mean?
The title could be better.
Yeah, it sounds like a parody in itself, right?
Yeah, no, it's much better than that.
Okay.
It really is.
So don't let the name fool you. It's actually usually you're calling it sleeper hit of the summer.
I am. Absolutely.
Is Josh Hartnett officially back?
I think he might be.
Okay.
I don't know why he was away. I don't know if he was in the doghouse or whatever, but I think he's back. So
I thought it was personal reasoning. He wanted to step away from Hollywood because it was gross.
Maybe
is what I read in certain things. I mean, in so many words, right? But I did read this in interviews, and And he might have been a victim of abuse.
It's possible.
Yeah.
So no, it's good to see him back. And then the other film is Clown in a Cornfield.
All right, now we're talking clowns, so I'm all about this. All right, so tell me about Clown in the Cornfield.
All right, so basically, this girl, she and her dad moved to this small town, Kettle Springs, and basically she's lost her mother, the wife, and so he's sort of trying to readjust. He moves him to a small town to sort of get away from it. And this small town has sort of been in decline ever since the corn syrup factory closed. Okay. The mascot of this corn syrup factory was Frendo the clown. Okay. Frendo,
you like that name?
Frendo ain't no Frendo, right?
Uh-huh.
So, in the classic, it's not Killer Clowns from Outer Space, but I mean, it's good. It's entertaining. I mean, right now it's 80% on Rotten Tomatoes. You're trying to figure out, okay, what's going on here? Why is this clown killing the young kids? What's up? And I don't want to say too much more because there's some good twists and turns, and teenagers, they're just always hunted.
Yeah. So you think Killer Clowns from Outer Space, think just Killer Clowns in general, right? And so something about, and it's from the director of Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Exactly.
So
one of the classics.
It's going to be tongue in cheek, funny, and then gory as well.
Yeah, it is gory, but I will say, honestly, I mean, I like this movie, but Tucker and Dale versus Evil is one of the top 10. It's so great.
Oh yeah, no,
it's so great. Alan Tudyk. I mean, everybody in it is fantastic. And it's just it's sort of ridiculousness. This doesn't have quite the ridiculousness. You sort of see some stuff coming, but at the same time, it's a fun horror movie in May, right? I mean, now we're getting year-round horror movies, which if you're a horror fan, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's weird though. I don't know if I'm a fan
no,
of that.
You're not on board? You want them all in October?
I like horror in fall. What do you think, Crystal?
I like horror in fall too. I'm also still a little confused by Frendo. That's like the name you called the guy who got you weed in high school. That's Frendo over there.
Frendo or Weedo.
Yeah.
I get my weed from Weedo.
And I can't do clowns. I'm not clowns freak.
No?
Oh no, clowns freak me out. Why are you so happy?
Yeah. And for that reason, it's good because the clowns actually creep lots of people out.
It's true.
And it is a creepy looking clown. I will give it that. A stupid name, but
Endo
creepy
with the
looking.
endo.
Yeah. All right. So if you want to see a killer clown this weekend, a clown in a cornfield, if you want to see a blonde Josh Hartnett, and I know you do, Fight or Flight is hitting theaters as well. And both those movies seem to be pretty good. According to film critic Herb Stratford.
Yeah.
Thank you, Herb.
All right.
We're going to hit the reset on the FM side. Be back with more right after this, but keeping the conversation moving on the podcast broadcast, youtube.com/beefvegan. Beefvegan. And then Herb part 2. Okay.
You're running StreamYard from here?
I am running StreamYard
What
from
else
here.
is on this one?
So this is my Vox Pro that I'm going to upload that into, edit it and upload it for KWSS. KWSS's track
This
list
is
is
the log
here.
for KWSS.
Yeah. And then I can move songs down. So, I mean, I add songs in if I want to record in real time.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, I need a little more play and power. And the thing is, I've been gone from the station for 9 years and they uploaded a lot of bullshit.
Songs.
Yeah, but the good thing about this is anything after 60 minutes gets dropped, right? So let me take Glass Animals Gooey, which is a good song. I'll move it up. I'll take Charlatans UK by Weirdo. I'll move that down. Duran Duran and Charlatan's going to get dropped in an hour. Indian alternative and stuff. And then, and I have 8, these are timed out, like speed breaks, this thing, this hour. I'll save that so I don't have to do that again. Going into my 4 o'clock hour, I have not as many song selections because I got this 3 minute 45-second marker.
So you drop your tracks right from here with what you're recording in Vox Pro?
Yeah. So if I want to record a break, right?
Mhm,
So I'll double click that. It opens up Adobe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then I'll record straight in there. And when I record, I just save it and then close it out. And then it just saves right into
And you
that.
can edit really quick all you want. That's kind of awesome.
Yeah, it makes it super easy on
What
that
program
part.
is that? What software?
What, just VT
never
remote?
seen it.
Yeah. What was it called? Because this is an upgrade of what Station Playlist is what it's called. So
You're
and
super independent with some of these titles, huh?
yeah, but I upload a lot of these songs, and the thing is they don't necessarily they haven't been maintaining it, right? So I'll have like a new music sweeper go into a song from like 2015. I'm like, it's new music from a decade ago. Right? But say 2016, I had like that Bob Moses song "Tearing Me Up." I I uploaded that. I love that fucking song. And so I could also listen to the songs, which I'll do right now.
Yeah.
And here, in fact, actually, let's see. Here, I'll play this.
So literally for 4 or 5 hours straight, you're just bop, 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 but then you're done.
Yes. Yeah. And then I take a break, and then in the afternoon, then I write out the show for the next day. But and I have a bunch of different ways that I do that. So yeah, it's good. So yeah, and Friday I have a little more fire in my ass.
Streamlines a ton of stuff for you.
It does, but they made sure that if I was to do this, right, because I proposed this to them, and they don't understand why I would want to do it anyways and add more to my plate, because it's not necessarily like a financial gain, but they made sure that they wanted like separation of sorts, so it's not just a syndicate, and I didn't want to make it a syndicate anyways. But at the same time, I have all these different people and volunteers and stuff that are on the show that I do record in between to be able to go there in shorter segments and things like that. So we're getting the hang of it. And, the shows this past week have been really good and fluid, and I get to hear them in the afternoon. So I'll put it on and I'll listen to it, and feedback I'm getting is good. And, there's radio DJs up in Phoenix that have been kind of eating off my plate a little bit. In a way where I'm like, yeah, I need to go back there and make some noise and let people know that
the real deal.
Yeah. A little bit of it is just like, I got to show them how it's done, put a fire under their ass, and then get back to putting on some shows up there too.
Conversation before, radio is dying because the mentality is not like yours.
Yeah,
we have to evolve outside of that car stereo. People can listen way more. I mean, with this, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're naive to think people are going to come to the radio and be like, it's just not going to happen.
No, they want that
So
content.
you reach them there. You reach them on
Yeah.
the Facebook Live, the YouTube Live, the TikTok, and you do such a good job with it that it's like, yeah.
Yeah, well, we see it on the podcast too, which is great too, because there's various different people who listen to the podcast or watch the podcast every day. We got our, OG streamers here watch every day live, right? That represents a certain percentage of it. Then we have people that watch a couple times a week, later on, once a week, once every 2 weeks, various.
Yeah.
But you see those numbers still continue to pad on, and as long as they're checking in or they're joining us for whatever fits their schedule best. And we're there for them. Yeah. On demand. It just works. It's been working. So it's been fun. It's been fun, man. But yeah, that's why I started doing the extra work. I'm like, it's just worth it. I have to. And now we're broadcast. I could say I'm the only Arizona DJ. And you could take that, John J. and Rich, which I might see Rich tonight. The only DJ that's broadcast in Tucson, Phoenix, and Flagstaff.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Yeah, I know. Oh, no.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn you into Arizona's film critic.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Let's go.
And they're
Let's do
like,
it.
I watched that movie and it fucking sucked. Fuck Arizona's critic, right? Let's do Valdez. You got your good cop, bad cops, right?
Oh yeah.
All right, get ready here. Yeah. So I want to keep you involved. Get you ready for those stories. I want to record this here real quick. So Valdez got together 2 stories involving cops that I want to share with you real quick. 939 KWSS. It's independent radio, and it's time for Bad Cop, Bad Cop. Is it Bad Cop, Valdez?
I'd like to call it cops be wildin'.
Cops be wildin'. All right, tell me about these cops being wildin'.
You know me, had a long career in law enforcement, and I run into a lot of different cops. Some good, some not so good.
Right.
So this guy, he's from Louisville, and he thought it was okay. The officer he was training, who was a female officer, he thought it was cool if he talked to her about sexual things.
Oh.
Yeah, and he's like, "Do you want to go out?" She's like, "No, I'm good, bro." He's like, "Do you ever watch nachos and porn?" And she's like, "What?" And he stepped it up a notch, and he started sending her D pics.
Oh, man.
So
Party foul.
he skipped a lot of actually
Oh, yeah.
bases there.
Nachos to D picks is
Yeah.
kind of like, come on.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
then you don't even want to know the type of nachos. They were just
They were trash.
yeah, garbage nachos. Well, of course, he tried to deny it, and she filed a complaint. And then they looked at the body cam footage, and they're like, "You're literally texting in front of the body cam."
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh!
So he's donezo. But
Cops be wildin'.
I know, man. That's the way to lose your credentials in that state, or any state, if you do that. So that guy is wildin'.
Yes.
The next one, it's kind of funny. Wilcott, I believe this is Wilcott is in what's it called, Connecticut.
Okay.
There's a river or a lake there, and with all the rains, it got bigger. While this one officer was doing a patrol, did not realize the lake got larger, and he drove into the lake. And he's like, "Oh crap!" And he tried to back out, and then the lake was like, "Nope, you belong to me now." Swallowed his cruiser. He had to like dip out through the window. And then who comes save the day? The fire department.
Ah, yes.
The true heroes of this story.
You know they're never gonna let that down in that area.
Oh yeah.
Bro, that losing that vehicle, that's like a lot. That's like hundreds of thousands of dollars of equipment right there in that lake.
Oof, that's
So,
true.
Cops be wildin'.
Yes. Excellent job there, Valdez. Cops do be wildin'. And we're keeping the music going on KWSS 93.9. All right, I'll punch it up at the end. That's good. Good segment. You know, speaking of which, the cop car being, swallowed by the lake. Of course, that's cost a bunch of money. The Navy, twice in 10 days, have lost a $60 million jet.
Yeah, F-18s. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Really?
Bottom of the
Yeah.
ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah, Navy be wildin'.
Yeah.
Because this is almost like an F my life in situations, both times the same area and stuff. They're not strapping down these jets.
I think that cop was texting. I think he was texting and driving.
I believe so. He was sending D pics.
Yeah,
It was
exactly.
like, and the lake
Yeah.
got bigger. What happened?
And then they
Following.
found nachos on his passenger side. Weird.
Yeah.
What?
They're following the GPS like Michael Scott. Right? Yeah. Also want to shout out Daniel Perez, who said that I just found out about this. I miss the show all the time, but now I get to see you on my phone. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
absolutely. Appreciate it. So yeah, that's why we do this. It's part of the community.
You know what? I haven't heard one time Happy Mother's Day. Not to me, but have you said it to your fans today?
We have lots of male listeners, but yes, I said it to fans.
You can still have female listeners, and this is a great opportunity to tell the men if your wife is planning her Mother's Day, you have already failed.
Yes,
That's true.
it's true. And we actually covered a lot of Mother's Day yesterday with Mari, right? Because she's our designated mom. Here's two things that I will play that we played at speed breaks today to kind of cover Mother's Day. So put on the headphones here so you could hear this. Yeah, you gotta have it. Plug that in because I think this will be relatable to you, Crystal. Are you ready?
Hold on.
Okay.
Wait for it.
Oh.
Got it.
What's
Okay,
up?
We're in.
Okay.
Got it.
So Mari, do you get excited about Mother's Day?
Yes and no.
Yes and no. Why yes?
Why yes? Because it's like my day, right? Like I'm a mom now. I have a whole day dedicated to me. And no, because the pressure of like this is a whole day dedicated to me. Do it right. And if that doesn't happen, right?
Yeah. But I think
Like a birthday.
you're forgetting something though.
What?
You have a mom too? Yeah, so that's one thing. And then there was let's see, another thing that I played. Let's see, I gotta find it here. Where Mari's the best because she'll just speak what she's feeling, right? No matter what, no filter whatsoever. I'll throw it on here. Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back. Beef Vegan Presents. Here with Crystal Pino, who is a mother of three beautiful, strong women who are kicking ass in wrestling. Mother's Day is this Sunday, and I want to say Happy Mother's Day to you.
Thank you, B.
Yes. Some of my best friends are mothers, even my own mom, right? And so, we appreciate all you moms out there. And I wanted to play another clip of Mari and her reacting to, there was a study that said basically what moms really want for Mother's Day. Okay. And this is a survey actually. And so what do you think the number one answer was for what moms really want for Mother's Day, Crystal?
For me personally, or like in general? The survey, if it's the survey, it's to be left alone.
Okay, yeah. All right. And that is correct, right?
Yes.
A nap, right?
Yes.
A nap is what they want. What about you personally?
Yes, leave me alone.
Yes, exactly.
Or feed me and then leave me alone. Like preferably bring me my choice of food that I didn't have to cook.
Yeah.
Or go pick up and then just leave me alone.
Right. Yeah.
Like go ahead and walk out.
See, not everyone's on that same page. So I asked Mari that same question, right? And let her know that that's what moms really want. The way she reacted was different. So you have no official plans for Mother's Day yet?
None.
That you know of. But I mean, do you even really want plans? Because I saw a survey ask mothers what they really want for Mother's Day, and most of them just said a nap.
A nap, man.
Yeah, some rest. So what if your husband said, hey, here's the deal. I'm going to take the boys out and preoccupy them for a few hours while you just chill and do whatever you want. Does that sound good?
No.
It broke her heart. She no, leave me.
I don't mean to make it sound like I hate my children. Like it's like, yes, take them, throw them, punt them, and I'm done, right? No, but I get what she's saying. It's also you want to celebrate with your kids a little bit too.
I'll tell you what, though, there is a big difference. And the big difference is Mari's kids are 3 and 5.
Yeah.
And your kids are teenagers, and you are also super soccer mom, where you're doing meet after this, after that. The miles you're putting on your car just to get them around. You're like, yes. And so once the kids get to a certain age, you're like, yeah, give me a break. That would be the best gift ever.
Maybe it's because I feel like the older you get, the more you realize in your kids' eyes, you're really not that cool. Like at 3 and 5, I was amazing. Like
Exactly.
I was
Oh, yeah.
everything.
I know.
Now at that age, it's like, Mom, you know how many times I get told, Mom, stop. I'm like,
You don't
I'm just
know
being mean."
anything, Mom.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Did you-
Eye rolls, everything.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter who you are. If your kid's like a adolescent, a teenager, you're just not cool.
Yeah.
I learned that the hard way too, because I try to be like, hey, I'm super cool, Dad, right? I'm backstage at
Yeah, I'm on the
rock-
radio.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm friends with literal rock
Yes.
stars. I've been like literally introduced you to them. Is that not cool? No. And it's funny because there was a clip that went viral with Mariah Carey's teenage son with Nick Cannon.
Yep, streaming.
It was streaming on Twitch, and Mariah Carey popped in, and he's like, Mom, no, get away. And of course, all the streamers are like, hey, Mariah.
We don't want to see you anymore. We
Yeah.
got the Queen of Christmas here.
Yes.
Oh,
and
man.
and he couldn't have been more embarrassed. So even, with
There is no better validation, though, than getting in front of your kids' friends and your friends being like, no, let her stay. I'm like, ha!
that's
I
right.
told you. Said I could stay.
Exactly. I am cool. See,
Yeah.
all your
Exactly.
Twitch fans think. Ironically, too, she gets on the stream and his Twitch viewers like quadrupled in like a matter of
Oh,
like
for sure.
a second, and he's
The
like,
Mariah
"Get out of
Carey.
here! I got 12 streamers." That's actually our
Yeah,
show.
literally, I go in on my kids' stream. They're like, phone down.
Yeah.
Like, what are you guys doing? Nothing. Okay. Well, all right then.
All right, here's the deal. We got to hit the reset on the FM side. We'll be back with the beef tip, but there is something coming to Netflix that we're going to talk about with Herb Stratford. You can join us, youtube.com/beefvegan. I do the dramatic pause and slash. All right. We got a beef tip right after this, and not everything is shut up and take my money. Sometimes you get to sit at home and watch it for free on Netflix, right? There's a new movie that's coming out. Is it a movie?
So it's actually a 2-part documentary
Okay.
called Octopus with an exclamation.
Octopuses are fascinating creatures.
Yep.
Alien, maybe.
And I'm proud of you because octopuses is the correct multiple. A lot of people think it's octopi. It's not.
Oh, yeah,
It's
no.
octopuses.
That sounds fun, though.
Yeah, yeah.
Octopi.
Yeah.
I just like saying octopuses. I call my boys octopuses, you know?
I
It's
know.
like, yeah,
It's
yeah.
true.
It's fun.
That's why I like
So-
hanging out with Herb. I always learn something new, man.
There
So
you
this
go.
is the perfect thing to watch with your mom on Mother's Day because a lot of this, and this is narrated by Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who's great, but it's about following a female octopus in her life, but also it's got Tracy Morgan. I mean, come on. How do you not love this? I mean, it's so funny.
I
like,
love octopuses.
it starts out and you're like, oh, here's this expert, here's this researcher, here's this person, and here's Tracy Morgan. And you're like, wait a minute, why is Tracy Morgan in this thing? He has the 4th largest private aquarium in the country.
Oh, of course he does.
Okay.
Why wouldn't he?
Okay.
Thank you,
So,
Walmart.
He's just like, he loves octopuses. And so it's just so great to see him going off on how much he loves octopuses. And it is very interesting. I will tell you that if you were not just watching Tiger King in 2020 on Netflix, there was a great thing called My Octopus Teacher, which is just a beautiful
Yeah.
documentary. It won the Academy Award about a guy who befriends an octopus. And anyway, it was a beautiful thing. That was that's better than this, but this is good. So.
Okay. And Tracy Morgan's like, I love octopuses. This is my second favorite thing of the same name.
He is
Lose lemon.
He is he is great, and it's very, very interesting. He's dressed like Rosie the Riveter the whole time. I don't know what is going on, but it's a very entertaining, very interesting, very well done thing about octopus. And again, because it's a mom octopus that they're following, perfect for watching with your mom on Mother's Day.
Now, is this going to be on Amazon Prime or Netflix? Because you said Netflix, but
it's Netflix.
It says Prime all over this trailer.
Okay, well, that's my bad. Never mind. It's on Prime.
All right.
You have Prime?
Sorry.
Everyone has Prime.
Yeah,
we were
sorry.
forced it, and we didn't even fight it. You know, like
Totally.
they're like, "Hey, you want that delivery? Cool. Now you got a subscription service." Like,
You go to cancel, they're like, you get Audible too? Okay, fine.
yeah.
Fine.
Well, there you go. So on your Prime, check out Octopus
Prime.
featuring Tracy Morgan. Excellent job.
Thank you.
All right, and then so we got that, and I'm going octopuses. Yeah, it was good. I didn't do any vagina jokes, right?
I was waiting for it. I really was.
Valdez, do you have any for octopuses?
Do I have any what?
Vagina jokes?
Oh, no, I'm good. Thanks.
Oh, you're texting? Oh,
That's low hanging fruit, bro.
all right.
Yeah, give him
I'm
a
just trying to
challenge,
keep
will
you
ya?
included in
I'm
stuff.
a classy, funny guy.
All right.
So the guy with an ass on his T-shirt.
Yes. Spread cheeks, not hate. Yes.
No, he says it with his pinky up. He's super classy.
Anyone who's ever been to intake in jail, spread cheeks.
I'm going to trust you on
Not
that one.
hate.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
No.
Don't need to figure that one out on my own.
Yeah, it's hard to follow that one up there.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, good. Well, we're gonna wrap things up with a beef tip here in just a minute. On the air.
Don't go to jail. It's your
That's
beef
the
tip.
Now the coffin squad is the thing. All right, what else? So we covered a lot today. What did we miss? Is there anything that we missed today that we're supposed to cover?
Did you guys talk about the Pope?
Oh yeah, I talked about the Pope. That's how you gotta do it.
Pope.
The Pope.
In fact, actually, I had something pulled up where, like some of the things that the Pope, because Ali came in and he pointed out the fact that he's like, the ironic part about having the Chicago Pope is he was around during the 1985 Chicago Bears Super Bowl win. So it's a Pope who knows how to do the Super Bowl shuffle.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh yeah, there's probably a lot of stuff that a Southside Chicago person wouldn't know. Like, like this Pope knows never to put ketchup on a hot dog. Right now, he would consider it sacrilegious. He's like, you might as well be worshiping Satan if you put ketchup on a dog. Rock one.
He's a White Sox.
Yeah, he's a White Sox fan. Yeah, we're back here live on the air talking about the Pope from being Southside Chicago. Some things that we know or would assume for being a Southside Chicagoan is that he's gonna prefer deep dish pizza over Napoleon. Right, that's gonna be a fact, and which is interesting the fact that these Cardinals would vote for him to be a pope, considering Rome and everything, and Neapolitan pizza. The origin of pizza is Italy, but they do it, thin. And then Chicago comes along and said, "No, we're going to make this a 7-course meal, and this is the way it is." So the fact that they would even allow a pope into the conversation who'd be a deep dish fan is pretty impressive.
I was pumped to find that there was a cardinal whose last name was Pizzabella.
Yes.
There could have been a Pope Pizzabella.
I know, so close. But instead, they go for the guy with the deep dish. So again, it is weird. It is weird. I know. There's a lot of connections there. And obviously, this is a fan who's going to be or a Pope that's going to be a fan of the White Sox over the Cubs, and not believe in curses, like the curse of the Billy Coat that the Cubs had for quite some time.
Yep.
Is there still a curse for the White Sox? The White Sox have not won the World Series since the Black Sox, right?
No, 2005.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Who's on that team?
Oh, man. Frank Thomas, AJ Przinsky. What's his name? Tome. Like, I'm not going to go through the whole
That was
roster.
20 years ago.
He's good. As long as you said Frank Thomas, that's who
Yeah,
I
I was
know.
going to say Frank Thomas is enough. All of a sudden,
He
you're
was
like,
my
oh,
favorite.
Big
player.
Hurt.
Yeah.
Big Hurt, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we're friends. Okay, there's a couple other things. The Lenten Fridays mean Italian beef. So, like, knowing that meatless Fridays are no sacrifice if you got, like, Portillo's, right? So,
Yeah.
that's something this Pope is going to do. And secretly a Dica devotee. So, it's God, number 1, Jesus, number 2, Dica, number 3.
Okay.
Dicka.
All right.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
our Pope. That's the way that ranks, and
All
everyone
right.
else
The
follows.
trifecta.
Yeah. It's the holy
Oh,
trifecta.
the holy, yeah.
They were the Father,
Absolutely.
Son, the Holy Ditka.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
right.
God
So,
bears.
yeah, the prayers are changing up just a little bit here. All right, Mother's Day is this Sunday and stuff, so we're going to give you a beef tip. All right, if you're looking to try to do an activity with your mother again, she just wants a nap, but if she's older, she just wants to spend time with you, so you want to do some activities. Here are a couple ideas just to kind of like get the wheels going. Pottery classes, we'll give you a rundown of some of those earlier this morning, but that's super fun. Cooking classes, brunch is always a go-to. Feed your mom and make sure you pay. Pottery painting. And if all else fails, you could take her to the movies.
That's
and
right.
Herb Stratford kind of pointed you in directions. If you want to take your mom to the movie, may I suggest Clown in a Cornfield?
It's the feel-good movie of the
It
year.
is.
It
That's
is.
so heartwarming. I'll hold my mom's hand in fear.
Absolutely.
Move over, catch her in the rye.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching the podcast broadcast. Don't forget to subscribe to our page, youtube.com/beefvegan. The Tucson Sugar Skulls have a home game tomorrow night. Kickoff is at 6:05. But for those of you who want to make the road trip, I do have a pair of tickets to give away for the Arizona Diamondbacks versus the Dodgers tomorrow as well. If you want those tickets, be caller number 69. For the rest of you, I hope you have a great Mother's Day. Enjoy your weekend. Drive safe, ride safe, and as always, rock local. Later.
When you wish upon
There you go. A lot of words. Covered all the bases. Boom, boom, boom.
Love it.
Did I miss anything?
No.
Spread cheeks on hate. Gotta throw that out there.
Just
for me.
I will knock out all your teeth.
Babuski.
Valdez.